Time for this week's Integrity Matters. Graham Locke, thanks for joining us. First thing, we had a couple of appeals heard on Monday.
Yes, Amanda, before the Racing Appeals Tribunal were Miss Ellen Bartley, a trainer-driver from the Riverina. Miss Bartley had been found guilty by stewards for associating with a disqualified person, namely Mr Jackson Painting, and in breach of Rule 230 in doing so. And on Monday that appeal was heard and dismissed. The penalty was confirmed of a 6-month disqualification for Miss Bartley. That commenced on the 5th of December 2016, so there's still a couple of months to serve there. The other appeal was by Mr Nathan Carroll against the decision of stewards emanating from a race meeting at Newcastle on the 12th of November, in which Mr Carroll had driven a horse that dead heated in a race, following which Mr Carroll posted some commentary on his Facebook account, which was found to be in breach of Rule 248, dealing with matters where there's comment adverse to the controlling body and or the stewards. In this case, the stewards took issue with the statement made by Mr Carroll. He was subsequently found guilty of a breach of Rule 248 and fined the sum of $3,000. Mr Carroll appealed both the conviction and the penalty, and that appeal was dismissed and the conviction and penalty confirmed by the Racing Appeals Tribunal.
Okay, moving on, the stable awareness course has been very popular, I hear.
Yeah, look, I guess we're a little surprised by the response we've received, and of course Christmas hasn't made it any easier in rolling out the program, but I am pleased to announce that the first training session for stable awareness accreditation will occur at Parks on the 26th of January. Our stewards, Michael Zarb, will be in attendance on that occasion, and for those people in the Penrith area, through the Penrith Mini Trots group, that program will be rolled out there on the 9th of February. So anybody in the Parks or Penrith area who have young people who look to become accredited under the Harness Racing New South Wales Stable Awareness Program are encouraged to have the young person there on those particular dates. They must be accompanied by the licensed parent, so that the parent understands what their responsibilities are under the awareness program.
Okay, all right, let's talk about a relatively new rule in relation to horses that bleed.
Yes, late last year, Amanda, the Harness Racing Australia amended the rules in relation to bleeding to include a horse which bleeds from one nostril. And Rule 238 now says that there's an obligation on the trainer to notify the stewards of a horse that bleeds from one nostril. Previously, that obligation only fell upon the person or the trainer involved with a horse that bled from both nostrils. And now there is a requirement that the horse must have a veterinary certificate submitted and trialled to the satisfaction of stewards before resuming racing. So there's not a time embargo as there is with a horse with two nostrils, but they nevertheless have to be examined by a veterinary surgeon, and they must trial to the satisfaction of stewards. So that may be an endoscopic examination just to satisfy the stable. The veterinary surgeon reports on that, and the horse trials, and the horse can go back to the races.
Okay, let's talk about race day treatment.
In the same session, Harness Racing Australia also just reinforced the rules in relation to race day treatment, and I bring it up because there may be some of the older generation of trainers out there who still are prone to use Vicks or glycerine or other substances which they think might improve a horse's airway or something during exertion. Those substances can't be used on race day. So it is now a breach of the rules for a person to administer or cause to be administered medication to a horse on race day, and those substances are considered to be a drug and therefore caught by the medication rules. So if anybody's got any doubt, by all means talk to the regulatory vet, Dr. Colantani, or alternatively ring the stewards. But as I said, what might have been accepted practice in days gone by is now prohibited and has been prohibited for a period of time. But I bring that to notice because we've recently had an issue with one particular matter.
Okay, all right, well, thanks for your time this week, Mr. Locke.
Pleasure again, Amanda.